Okay, gang, we're going to learn about finding x and y intercepts. I'm in the corner, so I'm watching you. I'm going to go through finding x and y intercepts in this lesson. So on a graph, if I was to draw a linear line, say it was going through here, and to add the tickies, let's say these go up by ones, it would be very easy to visually see where this graph goes through the x and y axis. Okay, so my y-axis is being intercepted here, so that would make the y-intercept a -2. My x-intercept looks like it's very close to 3, but it almost looks like the x-intercept could be like 3.2-ish. So sometimes x and y-intercepts are decimals and sometimes they're whole numbers. Totally depends. So if you're given the visual, it should be easy how to figure that out on the graph itself. Okay, so here we have an actual line. So we know that at the back, that if it's set equal to y, that the back end is going to be the y-intercept. It's just the way things work out. I'm going to show you a mini graph of this. This one's going to go up 4. This should be a reminder of what you learned the other day. And then it's going to go up 2 more and run 1. And that's going to be a straight line at that point. Now what we do know is that if you are truly a y-intercept, the x-coordinate will always be 0. So that means that if I go to my equation here, y equals 2x plus 4, I know that whatever term is attached to x is going to be a big old fat 0, because 0 times 2 is going to give me a 0. So my y-intercept is going to be 4. The same idea works for x-intercept. If I look at the x-intercept of this graph, it happens here. And what's going to happen here is that I'm going to rain freeze. The value is going to be -2, 0. When you have an x-intercept, your y is 0. When you have a y-intercept, the x is 0. So what you have to do to find the x-intercept, let's grab it. So when you're finding x and y-intercepts, basically what you're going to do is, to find a y-intercept, you're going to set x equal to 0 and solve for y. So in this case, I'm going to set x equal to 0, and I'm going to isolate y here. So I'm going to add 9 on both sides. I'm going to have 9 is equal to 2y. I still have to divide by 2. So in this case, my y-intercept is going to be 9 over 2, or 4.5. I can do the same thing for my x-intercept. Just one moment here. Okay, so we just found the y-intercept by setting x equal to 0. We're going to do the same thing for x-intercepts. We're going to set my y equal to 0, and we're going to solve for x. So y now turns to 0, so I'm going to have x equals 2 times 0 plus 9. This is going to cancel off, and my x-intercept is going to be 9. Okay, so it's basically the opposite. If you want to find the x-intercept, you set y equal to 0. If you want to find your y-intercept, you set your x equal to 0. It totally depends what you're trying to find out. So on this one here, we're trying to find both. We're trying to find the x and y-intercept. So if I want to find the x-intercept, I set y equal to 0. Okay, so anything that's attached to a y is going to turn to a big old fat 0. So you're going to have 2x equal to 4. To get x by itself, divide by 2. X is equal to 2, and that's your x-intercept. Your y-intercept for this question, I'm just going to quickly write it down again. For my y-intercept, my x term is going to disappear and turn to 0. So I'm going to divide each side by 2. My y is also equal to 2 in this case. That will happen sometimes where you have the same. Not always, just sometimes it's totally different. I'm always going to try and trick you with this one. Is there an x-intercept of this graph? If you think of it, sometimes you have to visually put it through your brain. If I want you to graph y equals 2, It's going to be a complete perfectly horizontal line at y equals 2. This will never pass the x-axis down here. Therefore, this x-intercept, well, there's none. Sometimes there's none. 0 and none, totally different. The y-intercept, of course, is going to be 2, so it is what it is. I am trying to find a new sheet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you another question. Give this one a shot. Try your x and y intercept, and I'll pause it, and then I'll go over it. Okay, so let's try our randomly selecting x-intercept. If I'm trying to find my x-intercept, I'm going to change my y to 0. So I will have 5x plus 0, so I'm not even going to write it, equals 9. Getting my x by itself, divide by 5 on both sides. X is equal to 9 on 5. Just leave it like that. We don't need to change that up. For my y-intercept, if we go back, I'll write the question over again up here. 5 plus 7y equals 9. Okay, I want to find my y-intercept this time, so I'm going to set my x equal to 0. I'm going to have 7y equals 9. Divide both sides by 7. Y is equal to 9 on 7. There you go. And that's basically as hard as it gets for finding x and y intercept. I'm going to give myself, no, I can't draw over the picture. I'm trying to give myself a mustache, but I can't. Okay, so anyways, you're going to get a worksheet from the sub, and it's going to be due on Monday when we, or on Tuesday when we return. Have a great night, everybody.